Okay, today we're jumping into three fast stories where huge amounts of money, incredible power, and just suspiciously perfect timing all seem to crash into each other. We're just going to lay out the facts straight from the source material, and you can connect the dots for yourself. Let's do this.
So, according to our sources, there's a pattern, and it pretty much always kicks off with a whole lot of money, which seems to find its way to people with
A whole lot of power. And the whole thing, the entire play, seems to hang on one critical thing: unbelievably perfect timing. Our first story starts with a trade so big and so perfectly timed, it's honestly hard to believe.
all right, get this. It's just before 7 in the morning, and in a single 60-second window, someone makes a massive $580 million bet on the future price of oil. These are called futures contracts. It's basically just a bet on whether a price is going to go up or down. A trade of this size at that specific time, it's almost unheard of. But it's what happened next that really makes you wonder.
So, why is that trade such a big deal?
Well, because just 15 minutes later, the president drops a bombshell on social media that changes everything. He announces productive conversations with Iran and says a threatened military strike is now off the table. The time between that gigantic bet and the news that would shake the entire market, 15 minutes. So, what happens? The instant that news hits, the markets do exactly what you'd expect. The threat of war is gone, so oil prices totally plummet. But the stock market, it breathes a massive sigh of relief and shoots right up. The bottom line is, whoever placed that monster bet just moments before the announcement made an absolute fortune. I mean, you just can't get better timing than that.
And that pattern of really, really questionable timing pops up again in our second story. This time it's about a $500 million investment. Sources are reporting that an investment firm, one that's directly tied to the UAE's own national security advisor, secretly bought a huge stake in the Trump family's crypto business. Now, right after that investment goes through, the US administration makes a really big policy move. They green-light the sale of hundreds of thousands of advanced NVIDIA AI chips to the UAE, the exact tech that powers all modern artificial intelligence. And here's the real kicker. According to the sources, they pushed that deal through even though their own national security officials were sounding the alarm bells, warning them against it. So those first two stories involved outside money and some seriously lucky timing. This third story, though, this one is about money being made from the inside. This number, over $635 million, is the value of stocks traded by sitting members of the U.S. Congress. And that's in just 1 year. And you know what? The data shows that number is only getting bigger. Now, the trading is happening all over, but some members are way more active than others. The source material calls out names like Representative Michael McCaul with over 57 million in trades, Ro Khanna with over 53 million, and Nancy Pelosi with over 51 million. I mean, those are just staggering amounts of stock market activity for people who are supposed to be full-time lawmakers. And this is really the heart of it all. See, they're not just trading any old stocks. They're buying and selling shares in the exact same tech and defense companies that they're supposed to be regulating. They're doing this while literally sitting on the committees that write the laws and hand out the contracts for those very industries. You see the pattern now, right? A huge trade before a big announcement, a foreign investment before a policy change. It all raises the same basic questions about money, access, and who really has influence.
So, what do you even call a pattern like this? Well, the source material we're explaining today actually gives it a pretty powerful name. They call it the architecture of corruption.
So, look, we've laid out the data from the sources for you. The trades, the investments, the policy shifts. The sources call it a system. They call it an architecture. The only real question left is, what do you call it?